Cause you know as well as I do, the only way is put in more effort and less play. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us go hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique belong to we the people. And we have a duty, a responsibility to enhance it, to make it better, not just for us, this generation, but for the next generation and the next generation. I want to welcome you to the Dynamic Hour, where we look at what's happening in our country. I want to encourage the people viewing on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to start off on a positive note again, because I believe positivity is the way to go. Whenever positive energy enters the room, negativity flees, negativity disappears, and we must remain positive. Let's highlight the good things that are happening in this country, because historically we were made to believe that everything we need to complain about, everything we need to grind and groan about, everything we need to be angry about. And that psyche affected our mental health. There are a lot of people who can only see the bad in anything and everything. But when good things are happening, they cannot even recognize it. They cannot even applaud it. They cannot even acknowledge it. And never think that we are the worst. Never think you are in a worse off position than everybody else. My mind goes back to that story where an individual was feeling down and depressed, just having very little to go by, and despair start creeping in, frustration. And when he ate that last banana and he threw the skin to the ground, somebody came and picked that skin up and started eating it. And then it dawned on him that there are people who are in worse off position than him. So never believe that you are at the lowest, or Grenada is so bad, right? Healthcare or education or agriculture, infrastructure and that kind of thing is so bad. Never believe that. There are countries that are worse off than Grenada. Do not think that you are in such a bad state or position. There are people who are in worse off positions than you are in. So appreciate the good. Appreciate the little things that matter the most. Again, my mind goes back to a door, just the analogy of a door. The door is big. Then you have the lock. The lock is kind of, second in terms of size on that door. And then you have the key. The key is the smallest, but yet the most important of all. To open that door, you need that small key. So do not underestimate small things, because the small things do matter. I want to play for you that piece that MTV did on the Princess Royal Hospital in Carriacou, where they commissioned that state-of-the-art X-ray machine.
Advanced digital X-ray technology promises a multitude of benefits for both medical professionals and residents in the community of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. The new equipment delivers higher resolution images with a significantly lower radiation dose, making procedures safer for patients. It will also enable radiologists and doctors to receive results more quickly and accurately, allowing for faster and more precise diagnosis. For the hospital's clinical staff, the modern and user-friendly interface will streamline workflow and increase efficiency, reducing waiting times for patients and enhancing the overall hospital experience. Previously, the hospital's imaging capabilities had been non-functional for several years, creating a major gap in the facility's offerings. The reintroduction of this vital service with modern equipment will ensure that Princess Royal Hospital remains relevant and effective in an evolving medical landscape. Saskia Freitas-Smith, IAE representative for 8 Caribbean countries, expressed her delight in the collaboration, highlighting the impact of natural disasters on healthcare infrastructure.
Even coming over today, I'm imagining if you actually needed to do an X-ray, by the time you get the person onto mainland, what happens? So it really, really calls home just how important this service is. And the IAEA, as your Master of Ceremony said, it's not an agency that you normally hear about. Most times when you hear about the IAEA, it's regarding or safeguards function, but we do a lot when it comes to development and the peaceful uses of nuclear technology. We work in agriculture, health, of course. We work with water. We work in marine environments.
Radiologist Dr. Linwell Fleury says it will greatly improve diagnostic process.
Because as you know, it takes a lot to transport a patient. Family has to come, if the patient is in here, bring clothes. They have to go down and wonder how are the Grenadians down there, my people as well. How are they going to be treated down there? Are they going to be seen on time? Can they get their shopping done and come back and catch a boat to come back up on time? But now we can take up so much of that budgeting for time and resources by having this X-ray equipment here. And many of you might not realize, but an X-ray unit, for many people, it's a blessing. Many people have prayed to have this X-ray unit be reinstalled back here because it was stressful to know you have to go to Grenada just for an X-ray that you can have here. So that's a big, big feature of the top-of-the-line machine.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles hailed the recommissioning as a movement of renewal and resilience.
The recommissioning of this new X-ray machine at the Princess Royal Hospital not only highlights, restoration of vital diagnostic services, it is a reaffirmation of our collective commitment to accessible, quality healthcare for all.
For the
Yes, so that's a very nice piece there by MTV. I think it's Wendy Edmond who did that story.
TV Evening News, I am Wendy Edmonds reporting.
Right, so Wendy did that story there. But it's really good to see Carriacou getting its fair share. That's important. Historically, or in the past, Carriacou and Petite Martinique were treated as step children. But now they are treated equally. I love that as a child, just like any other constituency. And mind you, with all that's happening, there still will be people who will complain, who will talk about all kinds of stuff. In fact, I saw on social media a particular individual from PT Martinique. I mean, she complains a lot, and nothing is wrong with that. But when it becomes overbearing, the complaining industry, right, taking a toll on people. Every time you complain, you complain, you complain. But we're not seeing you commending and applauding the good things that are happening, right? So I saw on social media where she was complaining a bit, asking whether or not the people in PT Martinique got houses from whatever source, if it's housing authority or some kind of program. She will complain about the jetty, she will complain about the water, she will complain about everything. But these things existed under the NNP time. So it takes some time to get them fixed. It takes some time to rectify it, to resolve it. Everything can't be done at once. And the Honorable Tevin Andrews, he's trying his best. We have never seen the kind of development, the kind of investment, the kind of work taking place in Carriacou and PT Martinique during the late Elvin Nimrod's time or Kindra Maturin Stewart's time. And mind you, Kindra and I were very good friends. Very nice lady. But Carriacou never got its fair share. I don't know why. And NNP controlled Carriacou for a good 20 or so years. But they have never seriously developed Carriacou and PT Martinique. So kudos to the Honorable Tevin Andrews. Take a bow, big up your whole self. Still keeping with positive news, St. David Catholic Secondary School.
Foundational work has officially begun on the construction of the new St. David's Catholic Secondary School at Malmont St. David. The school is being built on a 4-acre site with a building footprint of approximately 13,000 square feet at an estimated cost of 40.68 million EC dollars. Funded by the Caribbean Development Bank and the Government of Grenada, the modern learning facility will feature 15 classrooms, technical and science laboratories, as well as a playing field and recreation area. Project engineer Tiffany Donald provided an update on the progress of work.
They are at the stage of constructing the foundation of the building and have completed all the earthworks that includes clearing the site and cutting to grade. We also anticipate that the project will stimulate the community because as of now, 70% of the workers are employed directly from the area, and as the works progress, the numbers are expected to increase. Fortunately, we have not experienced events that could cause delays, and we're hopeful that we can maintain this momentum for the duration of the project.
The building will accommodate close to 500 students with 40 staff and other amenities, including a spacious staff room with a kitchenette, outdoor court, assembly area, and parking space. Donald says the new facility was designed for increased capacity while keeping in mind functionality and disaster resilience.
It consists of 3 buildings, one being 2 stories, and the other 2 are expected to be 3 stories tall. So there'll be a total of 15 classrooms. It also includes technical labs dedicated to electronics, technical drawing, woodwork, visual arts. There will also be labs for the sciences and IT, as well as clothing and home management. Space has also been made available for recreational activities with the inclusion of a 30,000 square foot internal recreational area, as well as a 22,000 square foot playing field for activities like football.
This project is being implemented by the Ministry of Education in collaboration with the Ministry of Infrastructure as part of the Grenada Education Enhancement Project. Construction began in September 2025 under the management of Construction and Industrial Equipment Limited and has a completion date of March 2027.
Right, so that's very good. They've started that project. So earthworks is being done. The foundation is being dug, and that's the way to go. We love to see it, costing $40.6 million. A lot of people will be employed under this project, and the community will get a serious enhancement. I am happy for Malmont. I'm happy for the people of St. David. Again, we continue with good news.
The Veterinary and Livestock Division within the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry has recorded a major milestone with the birth of the first heifer under the renewed artificial insemination program. Since the program recommencement, the division has successfully added 10 animals to the national herd, a significant step in its ongoing efforts to strengthen livestock development across the country. Chief Veterinary and Livestock Officer Dr. Kimon Cummins described the achievement as an important indicator of progress, highlighting the ministry's commitment to improving livestock genetics and overall beef quality on the island. Dr. Cummins said the successful birth demonstrates that the program is on the right path, aiming to produce stronger, healthier animals that can boost productivity and support Grenada's food security efforts.
I must say happily the artificial insemination program is still ongoing. To date we have got our 10th calf, and I must say proudly this is our first heifer that we would have gotten. We would have had 9 boys, and this is our first girl. She's doing quite well, nice and bouncy, feeding good. And we had the farmer and our officers out in the field who is doing the continued monitoring as necessary.
In addition to the program's success, the ministry recently bolstered its technical capacity by engaging 3 additional veterinary officers, a move designed to enhance the delivery of animal health and production services to farmers throughout the tri-island state.
As we know, if you've been, we've been persons who have been following the ministry since the inception of this project. We would have gotten the Santa Gertrudis from Texas. Lovely, lovely cows. And we would have done all our homework. So in terms of birth weight, in terms of growth weight, all those things were taken into consideration. And not just that, but also the ability to adapt to our local environment also, because where they come from is quite similar in terms of conditions. So they were the most fitted at that time. And I must say the calves that we have before would have proven that our assessment was, quite accurate, and they're doing quite well. They continue to do quite well. They actually, at this point, start outperforming our local genetics, which is what we kind of expected anyway, right? But I think overall, with the continuity of the program, we're going to get to that point where we start producing good quality beef.
Dr. Cummins further noted that the objective of the artificial insemination program is not just to increase herd numbers, but to improve the genetic quality of livestock, ultimately leading to better yields, higher meat quality, and a more sustainable agricultural sector. The ministry continues to encourage farmers to participate in the program as it works towards creating a more resilient and productive livestock industry for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Christina.
Right, so that piece there by Christelina John, she's a really good journalist. She reads well. I want to say that this particular program was introduced by the NDC administration. And 2 of those programs were very, very important. The breeding program, so this one is the artificial insemination program. right? And then you have things the purebred breeding program. It's a program where they invested a couple $1 million getting good quality animals from the United States, and they're crossbreeding them, breeding them with local animals so that they would get better meat, better quality meat, and so on. But remember, during the NNP time, the butchers, they had to import cows, goats, sheep, and so on from St. Vincent to butcher to sell in the abattoir. And sometimes you go, no beef. Sometimes you go, they have. Sometimes you visit the abattoir, no lamb, no mutton, no. Because there was a serious scarcity. So what the government decided to do is to invest significant amount of resources into getting farmers involved in breeding and rearing animals for the purpose of meat, but also to breed and make more, to reproduce, and to, because you need to have certain amount on an island, because a cow takes a while to be ready for slaughter. My grandfather, Stephen Bernard Marshall, a.k.a. Hot Shot, he passed away just as COVID-19 entered Grenada. May his soul rest in peace. I remember having to bury him in just behind his home in Grand Roy. I remember that vividly. So he took care of a number of cows in the Palmis area. And it took a while for one to be ready for slaughter, to sell or anything like that. Can't remember how long, but a good while, not 6 months, not 9 months. I think it's more than a year, or it might be even more than that. So you have to have patience, and you have to have a lot to really see profit or returns. Pigs are different, and goats and so on. But it's a good move by the government. A very, very, very good move. Some people may underestimate these two programs, the artificial insemination program and the breeding program. Still sticking with positive news, the road reinstatement works under the UK SIFT Southern Water Supply Expansion Project.
Regarding the road reinstatement on the UK SIF Lot 2, that's the Grand Dance area. We do recognize that this has been a bane for much of the motoring public, residents, property owners alike, and we had most recently promised that very soon road reinstatement shall commence. We did indicate that the intention was to start on Wednesday night, and we did start, and we commenced at the food fair traffic lights heading north. The road reinstatement shall progress rather quickly. We have not put any of the asphalt down yet, because we do have to have at least a certain minimum volume of asphalt before we start applying, but to ensure that we don't leave depression, any trench. The base material has been brought up to level with the pavement, and when the asphalt is going to be brought in, we'll just basically scrape off a couple inches on top and lay. This will allow the motorists to have a much smoother ride at it. In discussions with the project supervision firm, Alpha, and their own project manager, we have discussed the possibility and the likelihood that the contractor will depart from the plan just a bit and move to the northern end of that section of pipe laying where the worst of the road or the trench condition is, and that is near the Mercer Shop by Silver Sands and heading north around the bend just under McBee Reality, where in particular 2 culverts had to be repaired. They have been repaired, but the trenches are in the worst condition for the entire stretch. So the intention is to have the contractor move up there and reinstate that section and then return to down by the Galleria Mall area and continue moving north. Once we do that reinstatement in that area, we will then move down south to the Sugar Mill roundabout and start the reinstatement coming north in that area. And some attention will be paid simultaneously to the area of the Carriacou roundabout by True Blue, especially where the pipe is crossing over the road just before the roundabout if traveling north.
Yes, so that's a very good update there from, I think he is a John, right? Nigel, I think is his name. But he seemed to be the main person with this particular project. I don't know if he's the project manager, but the person overseeing this thing, he was somewhere in the region, very talented, very knowledgeable person on those matters. And it's always good to see a Grenadian at the helm when it comes to those major projects. And remember, this project was actually one where the NDC administration had to go back and fight for, because under the NNP, we lost it. We lost that project and we lost the Western Main Road project. And they were all grant monies. The NDC decided they would engage the United Kingdom and seek to get back this project, costing $80 or so million. And they were able to get it back. And kudos to the Honorable Andy Williams, the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell, and the entire team for getting that project back. So nearly all that I featured today, there is a history behind it. You can kind of go back and reason it out. There's something to talk about, right? I want to move on by commending the NDC Canada chapter. You all did a fantastic job last evening. I saw the videos, so your event was very successful. All right, I want to wish you all the best. And so far, all the NDC chapters in the diaspora, they have been very successful with all of the events and activities. So again, I want to applaud you. Continue doing what you're doing. Thumbs up. Kudos. That's the way to go. I want to say I saw a release or a short post from Emlyn Pay, who is the leader of His Majesty's opposition, regarding the operationalizing of the airport bridge or the bridge or bridges at the airport, right? I think I did this story sometime this week. And she put out a statement, and I had to laugh a bit. It's regarding this news item. All right, this one.
The Maurice Bishop International Airport, the MBIA, has taken a major step forward in passenger comfort and accessibility with the official commissioning of its new passenger boarding bridge. The first batch of passengers to pass through the bridge boarded the aircraft Monday afternoon, almost 6 months after it was formally handed over on May 19th. The state-of-the-art installation marked a significant milestone in Grenada's efforts to modernize its primary airport. With this upgrade, travelers at the MBIA can now board and disembark aircrafts directly from the terminal in sheltered comfort, regardless of weather conditions. The Grenada Airports Authority, the GAA, said the boarding bridge demonstrates its ongoing commitment to enhancing passenger service, operational efficiency, and safety standards at the airport. The new facility also positions MBIA to better serve international airlines and improve the travel experience for all passengers, particularly those needing mobility assistance. The new passenger boarding bridge was part of the airport runway, road upgrade and rehabilitation project, which was officially handed over to the Grenada government from the People's Republic of China during a ceremony at the Maurice Bishop International Airport on May 19th. The project was financed by the China Export-Import Bank to the tune of $67 million. The project was an undertaking by the China Harbor Engineering Company, which took approximately 4 years to complete.
So that's the project that was officially handed over, and now it's operational. And I had to laugh because I saw the post made by Emlyn Pay, and it seems as though it's a pattern by the NNP, where if it is a project that they started, they would comment on it when it's completed, and they would try to take credit for it. Because to them, everything is politics. Everything is trying to get political mileage. But this project was done with a $67 million loan. So it is not like it's money coming from the NNP as a political party to be done. It is the government of Grenada. It is the government of Grenada's project. And we, the taxpayers, have to pay it back. So yes, you started the project and the NDC completed the project because it is the government of Grenada's project, not the NNP project or the NDC project. And anytime you see opposition trying to take credit for a government project that they may have started during their time in government, and now that they lost the election, they're in opposition trying to take credit for a finished project, it speaks to immaturity, it speaks to pettiness, it speaks to lack of leadership, because it is a government project. It's a government project. It's not your personal thing. So the NDC administration, they're in government. They completed that project. But who do you think has to pay back for it? We, the taxpayers. So I find it laughable that Emlyn Pay will try to take credit for this, or the NNP will try to take credit for this. And mind you, any project that the NDC completes, that the NNP sees as problematic that they actually started the NNP, they don't say anything about it. In other words, they are not owning and accepting projects that gone bad or projects that fail under the NNP time. They're not accepting that. But when it comes to a project that's completed, then they grab it and they want to take credit for it because it looks good. But the NDC finished it. The NDC could have abandoned all of these projects, But they came into power and they completed these projects. There are projects that the NDC met, or programs that they met. The Empower program. That's a program that started under the previous administration. But what did the NDC do? They kept it and they enhanced it, giving the folks in the program, the young men, more money as stipend and more money as grant upon the completion. Once you finish the program, then it will give you more money as grant funding. I think it used to be $2,500. Now it's $3,000. It's $3,000 at this point in time. Let me see here, just to let you know that. Play a little piece on that. Because that's a program that the NDC met. They didn't close it down. They enhanced it.
Government is answering the call of the young people of Grenada to create the enabling environment for them to thrive. More than 300 young men in the Empower 4.0 program will see an increase in their stipend and a further increase in the grant allocation on completion of the program. Minister for Youth, Honorable Delma Thomas, made the announcement during the program's quarterly meeting on Thursday, which marked the end of the soft skills component and signaled the start of the direct skills component.
I remember vividly you raised the issue that your stipend was small. So I do have an announcement that as a cabinet, we have approved $1,000 for the stipend as of the 1st of December. Yes, but remember you was getting 7, they was keeping 1. So you will now get 9. And the 1 will be kept until the end of the program. But you're already getting that, so we're giving you 9 now. And I am also pleased to announce. I am also pleased to announce that those who are going to be completing the program, we had $2,400 for those who are going to set up their own business. Cabinet has also approved an increase of $3,000. You see, young people will listen to you because that's our responsibility. If we are representing you, then we have to listen to your cries and be able to work with you to provide the necessary support so that you can be better men for your families, your mother, and your wives to be.
The young men are on their way to becoming greater men, looking forward to conquering their fears and following their dreams to make a better.
Right, so you heard it there. The NDC met that program because it was started by the previous administration. But after they assess the program, they realize it is a good program. They did not scrap it. They enhance it. That is what a good government does. So they added or gave to the young men more money as a stipend, which is fantastic. More money to the young men for that program, moving from $700 to $1,000. And when they complete the program, they normally give them a grant. So the grant comes up to, it used to be $2,400. So now they're getting $3,000 to start off the little business or to enhance what they have. That is a caring government. So the new Imani training program, the NDC did not scrap that program. No, they're trying to get placements for those participants. They're also regularizing some of them, making them permanent, and they're getting more money. Because there were those who used to get $700, $800, $900, I think up to $1,000. Now they're getting $1,200 as a stipend. So it is good for the trainees. And I want to commend the government for seeing the wisdom and making sure that the trainees get the assistance that they deserve. And that's the way you do it. All right? That's the way you do it. I really want to applaud the government for that. A young person asked our Prime Minister a question on math only recently. And our beloved Prime Minister started the process of addressing that. So that was the question posed by the student. Let me play it here for you. All right.
What's your name? My name is Eden Bailey. All right. Well, Eden, ask your Prime Minister your question. Minister, my question is, what can you do to help the children that are not improving in maths and language? If you could help them, please, and to get them to make them improve.
Well, thank you very much for the question. And the Ministry of Education is committed to doing everything we can to make sure that we are more effective at the language, math challenges that we face in schools. And since it's a primary school student asking, I think it's important for us to emphasize that really, when our students exit primary school, they should be proficient in math and communication or language. So one of the things we are implementing is to ensure that we have specialist math teachers at the primary schools. Unfortunately, we inherited a system where we allowed teachers who themselves did not pass math to be teaching math. That's a recipe for failure. And that simply cannot continue. So we've already begun to implement that. We need to make sure that the teachers who are best able to teach math do so. And whether that means, in a sense, having a roving or itinerant methodology where the teachers actually go from different schools to deliver the math lessons, we think that is critical. The Ministry of Education has also begun extensive training of teachers in ensuring that the methodology for delivering math lessons, the math plans, are better structured and that we are able to better deliver this. I can even indicate that I am working with a Grenadian who's returned from the diaspora, who's established a math lab. As recently as last week, the principals of St. David's Catholic Secondary School and Westall Secondary School met with him, and starting tomorrow, he will be delivering extra training lessons for the teachers of those two secondary schools in St. David's to make sure that we can better equip the teachers and the students with the necessary skills that are required to ensure that they understand the math concepts better and are able to do better at math. We want to improve certainly the pass rates in math in particular, because it really is abysmal. There's no other way to look at it. I think we see it as a national emergency and frankly a regional emergency, because what's happening in Grenada is reflective of what's happening in the region. And the same for language. We have to make sure that the teachers who are best able to teach language are at the primary schools. If they're not, because that's the foundational level, it makes no sense having them in the secondary schools, because then all they will be engaging in is remedial work. I also want to single out a private partner that has really helped with the building and establishment of libraries in many of our primary schools. And they have done a significant job. Grenada Schools Inc. and the Rooms to Go partnership that has built several libraries throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, including in St. David, where we can allow our primary school students and teachers to be able to have access to not just literature, but literature actually produced by Grenadian authors and illustrated by Grenadian illustrators. That has made a significant difference, and we hope that they will continue partnering with us. I think the goal ultimately is to make sure that all of our primary schools are equipped with libraries and that Grenada becomes the most literate country in the world. So I want to thank them for the partnership that we've had over the several years. So I hope to the student who asked the question that with some of those measures we can begin to truly improve the quality of our math and language scores, but also the confidence of our students that they can perform well in these two subject areas.
Right. So our beloved Prime Minister made a reference to the person returning to assist with math. So let me play that little piece for you. There, I'm happy that he's not just talking, but we've seen action.
The Prime Minister's meeting with mathematics professor Mr. Golden Julian, acting principal Finton Paul of Westerhall Secondary School, and Principal Gary Jones of St. David's Catholic Secondary School discussed new strategies to strengthen mathematics education across Grenada's schools. The discussion focused on improving teaching approaches, enhancing classroom engagement, and identifying practical methods to boost students' performance in mathematics. As a direct result of the meeting, math teachers from both Westerhall Secondary School and St. David's Catholic Secondary School will soon participate in specialized training at Mr. Julian's Math Lab in Woodland, St. George. The training is intended to equip teachers with innovative techniques and tools designed to make mathematics more interactive, accessible, and effective for students. This initiative forms part of the government's commitment to raising academic standards and ensuring that educators are supported with the resources needed to help students excel. Shania McIntosh, GBN News.
Right, so that's very good. So it's not just talk, action is being taken step by step by step. Folks, don't forget the rally. NDC rally will be on Sunday coming, the 23rd of this month. Sunday coming, so the General Council will be at SAS, the school, St. Andrew Anglican Secondary School, at Telescope, and adjacent to the school, you have the playing field. That's where the rally will be. So mobilize, organize, and be a part of that. It will be massive. So I want you to organize yourself, your friends, your colleagues, so we can be there on Sunday, the 23rd of November. It starts at 5 p.m. So the General Council is about from, I think, 1 to 4:30, somewhere about there. And then from 5 until you have the rally. We have been clamoring for a rally for a very long time. We wanted a rally, and we're getting one. So let's mobilize our friends, mobilize our colleagues, come with your private vehicles, organize your public vehicles, different constituencies. Let's make it grand. Let's make it big. Let's make it huge. All right? At Telescope. You remember after that rally, what took place? You remember what took place after the rally? I don't have to tell you that again. This is what took place after the rally. All right? After that huge rally at Boucherjou. This is what took place.
You could build the best building. If you don't have the equipment, the medication, the trained staff, and the way you treat them. Sisters and brothers, I'm blacking out.
Yes. So this is what happened after that massive rally at Boucherjou in St. George, Northwest in Keith Mitchell's constituency. So now we are going to Telescope, and that's Emlyn Pear's constituency. All right? So just saying to you, after those huge rallies, things do happen, strange things. So be prepared for the rally. Make sure you're there. Let's mobilize, let's organize, and be there for that rally. Organize your bus, organize your private vehicles, and be there for the rally. I will be there. So I look forward to seeing you there too. So please mobilize, organize, and let us go up to the NDC rally on Sunday coming, Sunday, the 23rd of November, starting at 5 p.m. All right? Starting at 5 p.m. And I want to encourage all the constituencies to mobilize and organize. That is where you test your organizational strength, whether you could organize with rallies, all right? Rallies. Get in the 10 buses, get in the 15 buses organized, making sure that your people get to the rally, tapping into resourceful people in your constituency or in Grenada to pay for a bus or to cook some food or to organize something. Yes, we know you are accustomed to raising funds and doing things like that, but it's important. Very, very important. All right, so mobilize, organize, and let us go up to the rally at Telescope in St. Andrew. I want to urge all of our people, supporters of the NDC and the government, to please get registered. Let's continue the registration process. It is a numbers game. You have to get registered to vote, to participate. So you can go to all the political meetings. You can go to all the rallies. But if you're not registered, then you're not going to be able to participate. So you have to be registered. And I want to encourage you. All you need is your birth certificate. And it only takes 2 days to get your birth certificate at the Botanical Gardens, the Ministerial Complex, Deaths and Births, that department. Easy, 2 days. And it doesn't cost you much. You can also use a valid Grenadian passport to get registered. You can use that too. But again, register, register, register. It is a numbers game. If you coming from the diaspora and you're here or you're coming, take time to register. You never know when the election will be called. You never know. So please get registered today. I want to thank you for being a part of the program today. I want to wish you all the very best. I will be back with you, not tomorrow. I would not be on tomorrow. I have something very, very important to attend to, so I will not be on tomorrow. But you can look forward to me being on Tuesday. Tuesday, God's willing. So again, just saying I will not be on tomorrow, God's willing. Period. I will not be on in the morning and I will not be on during the night. But Tuesday, we're back to normal programming. All right? Just giving you a little heads up. Just giving you a heads up. So Tuesday, we will be back to normal programming. So take good care, folks. Bye for now. And that's why I came on today. That's why I came on today.